Good afternoon. I'm Coach Michael Burt coming to you from the Greatness Factory today. I hope you're off to a great start. You're having a great week. You're ready. You're ready. As I've been talking about last week, turn that fear into cash flow. And let me tell you something that you could be doing right now. If you got time off, if you're working from home, if you slow down, any of those things, now is the perfect time to think about writing your first book. And I'm going to make the case today in Super Coach. I'm going to make the case today on how to do that, how to get started, why you should get started, why I believe you have a song to sing and people to sing it to. 200 million Americans say they should write a book. Almost 81% of Americans say they should write a book. But how many people will ever do it? After today's Super Coach show, I'm going to inspire you. It's time to get started. It's time to get off the bench. It's time to get in the game. I'm going to show you how I wrote my first book and how one book has turned into 16 books and how those 16 books have turned into millions of dollars of revenue for my companies. You're watching Super Coach. I'm Coach Michael Burt. I'm so glad to be with you. Let's roll.
Everybody needs a coach in life. Coaching businesses and entrepreneurs like you to spike an additional 40% to your bottom line. Michael Burt is a multi-championship coach, best-selling author, trainer, motivator, and all-around super coach. Now, from the Greatness Factory Studios, this is Super Coach.
Welcome to Super Coach. I'm Coach Michael Burt. Every Monday, right here from the Greatness Factory Studios, I like to bring you a good message. And I'm hot on this topic of writing a book, writing your first book, publishing your first book, because tonight I'm doing a webinar at 8 p.m. I'd love to get you in. We may have already maxed it out. If you're interested in getting in tonight, I may be able to slide you in there on how to write your first book. If you're interested in that, just type in right now, I'm interested. Eric White or Lakin Hibden on my team can send you the information. We'll see if we can get you in. I know I've already got 100 people on there tonight. 8 p.m., David Latham. I'm going to be teaching people how to publish their first book in less than 6 months. And here's my favorite part, how to own the rights to that book. If you've ever been in a bad deal, if you've ever signed your life away, if you've ever signed a document you wish you didn't sign, you see how much passion I got for that, Jack? Because I've done that before. Tonight, I'm going to show you how to write the book, publish the book, own the book, and I'm going to show you how to pump these things out in 3 to 6 months. Now, 200 million Americans say they want to write a book. 81% of people, 81% of Americans say they want to write a book. So what's the number one reason they don't write a book? They think it's going to be too hard. They think it's going to take too long. They think it's going to cost too much. But that ain't the real reason. The real reason is one reason, fear. What if nobody reads it? Like you people used to tell me, what if nobody reads the book? What if nobody buys the book? What if I told you very few people bought my first book? Actually, the people I wrote the book for didn't even buy it. When I was 25 years old, I wrote my first book called Changing Lives Through Coaching. I had been coaching since I was 15. I had now had 10 years in the industry. And then I decided I had something to share. I bet, what are you out there thinking that I have life experiences that can help other people, speed another person's process up, help get them out of a bind, help cheer them up, help give them the structure and discipline they need? Well, at 25 years old, I said, I want to help young coaches. So I wrote a little book called Changing Lives Through Coaching. I didn't have an editor. I didn't have a publishing company. I didn't have anything. I just had me and my confidence. Thank goodness I had an aunt that worked at Middle Tennessee State University in the communications department, and she helped me package my book up, get it into Instant Publisher. At the time was a publishing company where you could buy the books and they would print the books. And I got that first book out, and guess what? Nobody bought it. And I had this little vision. I was going to write this book for junior pro basketball coaches. I was going to do these workshops for junior pro coaches, and I would take my book and that workshop to people, and they say, Coach, these coaches don't want to change anybody's life. They're just dads coaching their kids, right? Like it was a strong concept here. And I said, but I got a book. And now here's what's interesting. I wrote the book. And I gave 2 or 3 of those workshops. I think they paid me $400. But guess what happened when I taught those workshops? Some of those men and women were businessmen and businesswomen. And when I got in there, because I had the book is a message. The message gives you the platform. The platform gives you the ability to speak on something. The ability to speak on something gives you the ability to what? You get in front of people. We call that the showcase. The showcase gives you the ability to show people what it is you got. And without the book, you can't just call people up and say, hey, I'd like to come over there and talk, David. Or Dean Smithy, I'd like to get on stage over there, David Latham, and speak, but I don't have anything to say, and I don't have a message, and I don't have a book. The book gives you a message. And the message gives you a platform. And the platform puts you in front of people. And getting in front of people is how you sell your goods and services. So what's the number one reason keeping you from writing a book right now? Fear. You think it'll be really hard. You think it'll take really long. You think you're not qualified. Have you read some of these bad books that people write? For the love of goodness, I bet you've read a book before and you're like, good Lord, how did they publish that book? So for you, the fear, the process, the mystifying part of writing a book, I want to demystify this book writing process for you. I mean, we've actually started a division of our company called Monster Publishing, where we have partnered with an excellent writer, packager, who will write the book for you, right? Take your ideas, put them into a book. He actually just wrote my latest book called Legacy Selling, and he basically transcribed my videos that I did on here, put it into a book, boom, I got a book to sell. And I literally spent less than 3 hours on the book, maybe 2 hours, maybe 1 hour, if I remember correctly. So writing a book today, I want to demystify this. A book is a Word document packaged into a PDF, made pretty and packaged up by a graphic designer. I write most of my books on my iPad. Then we put them into a Word document. Then we send them to a right designer. Then we package them up. Then we print them. Then we sell them. But we also give them away. We also use them as lead magnets. We also use the ebook. We also use the audio. We also use all of these things. So what I want you to thinking of is, do you have a concept that is big enough for a book? Just because you have a good idea. Lots of people have good ideas. Do you have a concept? See, my first business coach taught me that before you become known, before you become famous, before you become a renowned person, you need to position by concept, meaning you create a killer concept. If ideally, it needs to be action-oriented, not just a statement. It needs to be you're creating something. Okay? I don't know why it popped into my head, but who moved my cheese? The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Good to Great, The 5 Dysfunctions of Teams. Like, these are all books, right? I'm looking at a book right here called Habits of a Champion. Make Your Bed. That's an action. Make Your Bed is an action. Okay, we're working on the titles of my new book for Pray Drive right now. We got 4 or 5 titles that we're going to be testing with you guys online around the concept of Pray Drive. I'm thinking of the word, Jack. I can't think of it now. Devour the prey in the morning, divide the spoils in the evening. That's straight out of the Bible, but it's an action. We get up and we devour the prey in the morning, and we divide the spoils in the evening. It's offense. So, do you have a story? Do you think your book will solve a problem? Do you think it'll start a movement? You know, Hal Urban wrote a book for his kids, Life's 20 Greatest Lessons. He was a high school teacher. I hear so many teachers say, well, what else could I do? There's nothing else in the world I could do but except be a teacher. Well, Hal Urban was a high school teacher. He wrote a book called Life's 20 Greatest Lessons. He sold 250,000 copies of that book out of his garage. If he owned the rights to that book, which he did because he's self-published, let's say he made $10 per book. Let's say he made, $2.5 million out of his garage by writing that book. So what is the number one cure for fear in anything? It's action. You starve doubt by taking action. When I wrote my first book at 25, I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea how to do it. I had no idea how to publish it. I didn't know who I was going to sell it to. But thank goodness I wrote that book, because that book opened the door for my speaking career. And that opened the door for my coaching career. And that opened the door for my online academy. See, in my online academy, look at all these books behind me that I've written. All of those are courses. Ebooks, audibles, online courses, one day, right? Like, all of these things open the door for other things. But it all starts by having a message. And the book forces you to have a message. If you ask me the number one thing that the book has done for me in my life, it's forced me to package and deliver my mindsets to the world. It's forced me to sit down and think through what is my message? What do I want to say? What movement do I want to start? What problems do I want to solve? Right? And the book solves a problem. Like my book, Everybody Needs a Coach in Life, can become your coach. It is like me coaching you. My book, Inside the Mind of a Monster, teaches you the habits of big-time monsters. My book, The Accountable Church, helps churches to build dynamic places for people to come to. So, before we go to break, I want to ask you, do you have a message? Do you feel like your life experiences could help other people? Has a book changed your life? And do you have a song to sing inside of you? If you do, type in the comments, I'm interested. I'd love to get you on one of my webinars. Even if I can't tonight, I think I've got 100 people already on there, but a few people will probably drop off. So if you're interested, put your name, put your email. We'll give you the link. You can register for tonight's webinar at 8 p.m. I'm going to break down a full hour of how to publish a book in less than 6 months and own the rights to it, right? Tonight, 8 p.m. I hope you can be on there. I'm Coach Burt. When I come back, I'm going to show you how the book becomes a talk. The talk becomes speaking engagement. The speaking engagement becomes a coaching program. The coaching program becomes something else. I'm going to show you how to build a value ladder around one simple idea. I'm Coach Michael Burt. You're watching Super Coach.
Hey, welcome to Ask a Pro. Grant Cardone here with my friend, Coach Michael Burt, Monster Producer Academy. He's the founder of, CEO. He's a personal friend of mine. Monster Producer Academy also sits at Cardone U now, if you don't know that. And I went out and sought Michael Burt because I'm like, this dude is a professional coach, not an amateur coach, not a dilettante, not a mamby-pamby. Dude, this guy gets you accelerated growth.
Yes.
Okay, he gets you spikes and spurts and spurges. He'll show you how to scale your business, but before you scale your business, he'll show you how to grow your business.
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome back to Super Coach, live at the Greatness Factory today, where we manufacture greatness. If you've never been down to see me in one of my training programs, come on down to the Greatness Factory. We'd love to help you. We've got a Greatness Factory for kids. And today we're talking about how to write your first book. Okay, I wrote my first book at 25 years old, and I had no clue what I was doing. As a matter of fact, we don't even sell that book. That book sucked. Even my second book sucked. Really, we don't even sell the second one. I don't even know where you could find a copy of my second book. It took me 15 or 16 books to get good at writing books. And now I've got it down to a process that takes less than 3 to 6 months. I'm talking start, finish, publish, out. Message. In this segment, I'm going to talk about, I see a lot of new people on here, and thank you. I'm going to talk about Shannon Langford. Used to be my old neighbor. Good to see you. Shannon Langford Sharp. Hadn't seen you in a while. Jaron Tenpenny. It's a Woodbury boy. Teresa Smith. Rob. Adam Milan, he's going to be on my thing tonight. So, guys, I've spent the last 20 years of my life speaking, coaching, training, writing, building a multi-million-dollar coaching company, speaking company, and all day, every day, this is what we do. We coach people. I speak. We coach. We lead. I write books. And it's been a very rewarding profession for me because I know, number one, it helps me. I help a lot of people. And number two, it can be very lucrative because you're a specialist. You have something to say. So I want in this segment to break down how does the book become a message and a rallying cry, okay? And if you just joined us, I'm doing a webinar tonight at 8 p.m., how to publish your book in less than 6 months, how to own the rights to that book. I've been in publishing deals. I've self-published. If you look at all the books that I've written behind, probably like 15 or 16 books. We're about to release a new one that I put through the Monster Publishing Division where we had Andy Garrison work that book for me, wrote that book. I spent less than an hour on it. Now we got a product to go along with an online program. So how does the book become a message and the message become a rallying cry? When you don't have a message, the book is going to force you to have a message, okay? Now, here's the sequence. The message, when you write the book, becomes a talk or a speech. The talk gives you a reason to get in front of people. We call that the showcase. When you get in front of people, the showcase allows you to create prospects. The number one way we drive new business is by speaking. If I was an executive at any company, if I was a real estate agent, a mortgage originator, a nurse, I don't care what you do for a living, when you have that book, it raises your person of interest status. And because of that, you're going to get in front of people and you're going to share your message. When you get shared, there's going to be a percentage of people that like you. When they like you, you say, oh, well, you can come spend a day with me. You can buy my audio program. You can come to my 3-day retreat. You can come to my boot camp. None of that is possible, in my opinion, until you have a concept. The book gives you a concept. Let me pull one and show you. This book is called $1 Million Follow-Up. This is a book I wrote. It's a simple book, probably less than 10 to 15,000 words. I wrote it on an airplane, flying back from a speaking engagement. We package it up and make it pretty, okay? And then we turn this into an Audible. and we turn it into an online program, and then we turn it into a 2-day boot camp, and then we turn it into a retreat down in Florida at our property. Then we turn it into something at the lodge. Then I go in and coach people on how to follow up. The book becomes the message becomes, right, a talk. The talk becomes interest. The interest becomes speaking, coaching, training, leading, and we turn it into an online program, all from that one concept. Do you know why I wrote that book, Jack? I wrote it because so many people do such a pitiful job of following up. And I said, we got to solve this problem, Amanda Banks. We got to solve this problem. Like surely I can write a book that can solve this problem. And I developed a philosophy. Takes 7 to 15 touches. The whole book is based on a sales stat. 80% of the time, it takes 7 to 15 touches to convert a prospect to a client. So the book is about how do you create this system before, during, and after a sale that is so necessary to make sales. That's what the whole book's about. So when people walk up to my table after I speak, I'm saying I write very specific books. Single Digit Millionaire is a book about how you get your net worth between $1 and $10 million, how I transferred from a high school basketball coach to where I am today. $1 Million Follow-Up is a book about how you create a killer follow-up system. Person of Interest is about how you become the go-to player. This Ain't No Practice Life is about 7 big decisions you got to make. Swag is about protecting your confidence. See, every book has a concept. The concept solves a problem, right? And the problem becomes a coaching program. Okay, so for you, this is how you build a value ladder where you start small, then push to something in the future, then they go to something else, then they come to something else. Well, the book initiates the value ladder. Okay, now I'm going to tell you one of the largest contracts I ever signed was a 6-figure contract because a president of a company walked into a Barnes & Noble's and saw my book, Everybody Needs a Coach in Life. Read the book, identified with me, went back to the owner of the company. I was on a plane the next week to Texas, right? Met with the company, had a 6-figure deal within 2 weeks, all because of a book. So don't ever believe that there's not a utility to writing a book. Don't ever believe that you don't have something to say. Don't ever believe that you can't help. Don't ever believe that it won't turn into money. Now, I can't promise it's going to turn into money. You write a bad book that sucks, that don't help anybody, it's probably not going to turn into money. But you write something of value that moves the ball down the field, and I promise you, it's going to raise your person of interest score. It's going to start the cycle. So what can you do from today's Super Coach? If you're listening to this on iTunes or Stitcher Radio, what can you do? Number one, if you want to join me tonight for the free webinar at 8 p.m., just type in, I'm interested, and my team will post the link. Click and register for tonight's free webinar. It's me breaking down what I've learned the last 15 years writing 6 books. If you're interested in my $1 Million Coaching Summit, my $1 Million Coaching Summit teaches you how to craft the message, how to get speaking engagements, how to build a sales system behind it, how to publish your own books, how to build online academy. Basically teaches you how to build a multi-million-dollar speaking, coaching, training business. Everything I've learned the last 15 years. And if you're interested, if you have the concept ready and you're out there listening to this or watching this and you want somebody to help you with the concept, then you need to just say, I'm interested in your publishing division, because we have a person who can write the book for you, package it up, get it on Amazon, get it up and going. And all you got to do, if you don't have video or dictation, all you got to do is dictate the book. They can write it for you. It's called a ghostwriter. So we have a publishing division of our company that can now do this. I actually just did that with my latest book, Legacy Selling, that's about to come out. I think it's in printing right now. And it's my selling system. So let me finish by saying this, guys. You have a song to sing, you got people to sing it to. If life's worth living, it's worth writing down. Do you believe that you have lived through life experiences that can help other people? And if you do, then you need to be thinking about writing your own book, which is going to open doors for you like you can't imagine. I didn't know when I wrote that first book at 25 years old, the doors it was going to open. I didn't know it was going to get me a speaking engagement at Dell Computers. I didn't know it was going to put me on stages. I didn't know it was going to get me on the local circuit. One book would turn to 2, 2 would turn to 3, and by 3, I started going, okay, now I figured this out. Now I'm writing a better book. This Ain't No Practice Life. Now I'm speaking on that 200 times. Now people are coming asking me to coach. Now I'm monetizing the book. Okay? We use the book for all kinds of ways other than just monetization. Okay? And I'll talk about that tonight on my website, on my webinar. Tonight, I'm going to talk about how we use the book as a lead magnet, how we create hundreds, if not thousands of leads from having the book or the ebook or the Audible, how we package and deliver this concept at a very high frequency. So if you're interested, come on and join us tonight. Guys, I'm Coach Michael Burt. I believe everybody needs a coach in life. Thank you for joining. How to Write Your First Book starts with the message, starts with overcoming fear, and starts by reaching out to people who have done it before, who can show you the process to pump these things out fast. I'm Coach Michael Burt. If you're interested, just type in here, interested, and we'll reach out to you. You guys have a great day.
How you show up and how you interact and how you're actually helping, the connection you actually make, the connection we're all saying you want, that connection, that's just not knowing people. That's not just not networking. Event today that Coach put on, amazing. The ability that Coach has to bring people together and give them this space and allow them the room to learn and grow. So many light bulbs going off, people seeing possibility and how they can lean on me or Coach or other people, the networking that Coach has going on here.
Many times you find your purpose through taking action in pursuit of something. Okay? So you're out there working that muscle, and the more you work that muscle, the more it's like, oh, this is it, man. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is the people I'm supposed to be doing it with. This is what I love doing, right? This is profitable. Like, it happens through action.
I only have one thing I want you to leave this session today with, and that's this idea of something bigger is possible. I think everyone shows up where they are, and what an event like this allows for and what Coach allows for is creating a space where you can see something larger for yourself, and not only is that okay, but it's strongly encouraged. It's about the people you're helping. Time, people with women, single moms with no credit, the anxiety of all of my water being shut off. How are you helping me? And what piece of how you help, what's the tool, what's the exact how? Normally you have to be pushed off of your safety zone and to move into this scary new thing. And if you can come to an event like this and just allow yourself to see the bigger thing, that's what I wanted for today. And I want that for you any day. I want that for every event Coach has. I want that for you. Like, I want you to understand you can show up, particularly here with Coach, and allow yourself the room to say, I am good enough, I can do this bigger thing, and allow for that possibility, because then and only then will that start to happen.